And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Maestros of the game, the round of 16 group stage, Group C. We, of course, just spent the last 2 days wrapping up Group A and Group B. Now we're here halfway through to determine, more than halfway through, to determine the first player to be eliminated from this group. We already have Clem advancing on in first place. To be expected, Clem did come in as the heavy favorite, but who is going to be out first and who can make it through alongside Clem out of the group into the playoffs? Oh boy, here we go, we're here to find out. Up next, we have our ZvZ between Rogue and Solar. As a reminder, best of 5 mirror matchup, and I always look forward to Rogue's ZvZs, to be honest. I mean, Rogue and Solar, they're typically both hyper aggressive. Rogue has some quirky builds and some cheeky plays in ZvZ as well. I always remember, what was it, at the beginning of the year? When we casted Rogue versus Shin, with Rogue going for not just crazy 12 or 13 12s, 12 pools, going for hidden spires, even hidden with creep in corners of the map, some crazy nonsense. Like some hidden spire play. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. Give us some more ZvZ, because it's honestly a really rare matchup. I took note of this not too long ago, but we cast ZvZ maybe like once a month, if that. For those who don't know, for those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, we cast StarCraft daily here. We cast StarCraft more than any other channel out there. This is our, again, this is our second cast of the day as well. We cast all the StarCraft, and ZvZs are a rare sight nowadays. They're quite rare, so I appreciate them whenever we can have them, and whenever we can, papi. Gift. As our players are getting ready, and we will soon be jumping into that first game. Vetoes are done. Vetoes are done. As you can see here, we have Tokamak, Persephone, Sandworm, Maganatha, and Incorporeal. Interesting lineup of maps here. We have, for the most part, gotten rid of most of the smaller maps. There's going to be no Ultra Love. There's going to be no Pylon. So a lot of the smaller maps have been removed. We have Sandworm. That's probably, I would say, the most aggressive map in this map pool. Maybe Persephone as well. Outside of that, larger maps are going to be played out. And here we go. We're loading into Tokamak. You can hear the beeps. Also, I just realized we have non-stop team kills. True. Rogue, Solar, and Bunny. All 3 of them are all on Team Falcons. So, the Team Falcon team kill. Ay. Only one. Only one of the 3 can make it through. So wide awake. True. That's another X factor here as well. It is 4 a.m. in the morning. It's 4 a.m. in the morning here in South Korea. So, it's a brutal time, and not all the Koreans are used to playing at this hour. Not used to going full degen, so that's also going to be a bit of a factor as well. But here we go. We're diving into our first game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the other South Korean Zerg player, also representing Team Falcons, the Blue Zerg. It is Solar. God, there are so many plushies in the background. Let's go, papi, let's go. As Rogue, he opens up with the gold. And this is what we spoke about at the very start of the series. As we were getting into this, I was talking about how Rogue is typically very quirky and very stylish in his ZvZ. I was emphasizing 12 pools, 13 12s, hidden spires with Drop a Lord spreading creep in the corner of the map, or even here rushing into the hybrid gold base. Double hatch before, oh, this is crazy. double hatch before pool, before gas, before anything else. This is insane greed out of Rogue. Oh boy, he should not get away with this. He should not get away with it, but we'll see if Solar ever does confirm. So far, hatch, gas, pool, standard opener out of Solar. But again, Rogue, he's being a little bit more quirky here in his play. I say standard opener. Yeah, it does pull in. Okay, it does pull into gas, so saturate. So standard gas timing, boys are being pulled to saturate. Does the Overlord scout this? It won't. Yeah, the Overlord will miss this in the end. The drones, they barely do slip by. You can see him hugging the edge of the map as well to make sure that the Overlord does not confirm. And with that, Rogue, he will saturate the gold. Let's go. Let us go. The gold base is getting up and running. The Overlord Scout will dip in. Now, what does he see? He sees late hatchery. He sees, comparing it to his own, hatchery is delayed, which means there's a higher chance that it was going to be a pool or a gas before hatchery, and this might force more defensive play out of Solar. We know that it wasn't a pool or gas, it was a hatchery before hatchery. He's moving out. Moving out to scouts, moving out to confirm. He sees, he does see the creep. He knows, he sees the creep. Baliness instantly thrown down. Hyper aggression out of Solar. Solar, he's here to punish the build. Now, because of the boosted economy, Rogue can set up not just queens, spine crawlers. If we can set up some spine crawlers here in time, he can pull off a defense. But Rogue, he responds, sorry, Solar, he responds with an all-in. He's not droning. He's not droning. The links are hidden, they get found. Things are found out. Ooh, better trade for Solar. Better positioning. Solar, he does our trade. Lings, they're flooding across the map. And we'll see if Solar can punish. Pressure is on. Ooh, Solar, calm down. Jesus. Out trades once again. Gets another Zergling. Gets a Ling. Baliness is done. Here we go. 2 Balings are morphing in. Morphing in 4 in total. Rogue getting his own defensive Baliness. No spine crawler here at the gold. This is a little bit greedy. Rogue, he can afford it. He could afford it. Oh no! Bailey's done. Does graze the army. Bailey does graze. The Lings are going for the queen. No Bailey's ready for Rogue. Good connections. Yeah, Bailey's they shut down the Lings. Lings are being shut down. GG gets called, and Solar, he will scout, he will punish, and Solar starts off with a win. Whew. GG. Hi. GG, well played. Solar, he does take a lead here in the series. Again, I'm a little bit surprised that Rogue, again, he had excess minerals. He wasn't doing anything with that, though. Again, he got scattered. Thankfully, Solar, his overlord, did veer off to the right-hand side. It did get a glimpse of the creep, so he was fully aware, and Solar's response was Bane Bust. Was just go for the Ling Bane all in. Was punished, and was able to pull it off. GG, well played. With that, Solar, he does start things off with the lead here. We'll see if Rogue can bounce back and recover. We'll see if Solar can extend his lead. Also, Rogue, stay with us. And if you saw, Rogue, he's falling asleep, Pappy. Stay with us. It's okay, Pappy. It's okay. Stay with us, Rogue. Again, it's 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. in South Korea, so it's not ideal for all players. Time for some coffee. Crack open a hot 6. Let's go. Prime gaming hours. Prime D-Gen hours. True. Here we go. Hard to take advantage of the gold without lava. True, that's why we were trying to emphasize stack defense, like getting spine crawlers up and running to make use of those minerals, to make use of that setup. Last didn't have any of that, of course. I'm sure partially just because Rogue didn't know how committed Solar was. But here we go. Now we're getting into game number 2. What is the device behind Rogue? I think it's an air purifier, or maybe a humidifier, or maybe both. Like that is my assumption. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg down in the series. We'll see if you can bounce back. We'll see if you can make a series out of this. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top side of Persephone, we have the blue Zerg player also on Team Falcons. He has a lead in the series. Can he extend that lead? It is Solar. Here we go. So calming down as we are settling in. So far, hatch first. This time, the hatchery is where it should be. There is another gold base that you can try to rush into, so I'm sure that in the back of Solar's mind, he's like, yo, there's no shot this guy took the gold base again. There's a chance, but as we can see, standard opener this time out of Rogue. We're calming down. Hatch gas pool out of Rogue, hatch gas pool out of Solar. Everything looking normal for the time being. We'll try to keep up. But I don't blame people for being curious, because it looks like, am I crazy? It looks like there's like a magnifying glass, right? Like like the lid of the purifier at the top. It's like, maybe it's a light. So you can it's like a 6-in-1. It purifies the air, it humidifies, it gives you light, does your taxes, got an alarm. It's like there's a lot going on with that device. There's a lot happening. Lives in a science lab. Exactly. As from here, nothing too crazy. We're getting to link speed. You can see that Ro16 pulls one out of gas in the main. Likewise, so does Solar. This is standard. You just pull one out. You don't need excess gas early on. From here, we take a third base. We get into a safety Bane nest, and we get into a 3-base setup with Ling Bane. So far, this is as standard gets in ZvZ. So far, so good. There are some players that do skip their Baliness and try to rush into roaches. It is very risky to do so, and we can see that neither player is skipping Banelings. So Baliness out of Rogue, Baliness out of Solar. From here, we can then try to hide an Evo Chamber. Solar is very fond of going into an Evo Chamber into early +1 Carapace, into a Ling Roach all in. So that's going to be in the back of my mind for some point in this series for Solar to commit. Likewise, we'll keep an eye on early Evo Chambers in general here, early Roach Horns, hidden Roach Horns as well, or massive Ling Floods. Otherwise, we should just drone up, saturate, then get into Roach versus Roach. We do have 10 Lings on the way here for Rogue, so he will have an influx of Lings early on. With this, he can apply more pressure. As he hides 2 Lings, these can morph into Banelings. Meanwhile, we have the earlier Roach Horn out of Solar. So Solar, he's the first attack. Here we go, defensive Banelings on the way. Ooh, the scouting Lings on the right-hand side, they get caught. They get scattered. Rogue trying to be active. Behind this is droning up, getting to his own Roach Horn slightly later. No one went for an early Evo Chamber. Oh. As we don't want to waste the Banelings. Lings, they go for a scout. They check behind the mineral line. As we mentioned before, we can see that there's no Evo Chamber, but Rogue confirms. Yeah, he confirms no hidden Evo Chamber. He confirms no extra gases, no faster lair. Rogue can play comfortably. Solar is in the dark. For all Solar knows, there could be some hidden tech. Solar does move out. Moves out, spots a queen. Roach production has begun. Rogue, he's not getting a lair. Okay, first big sign of deviation. We have a lair for Solar. Rogue, he might just turn this into a hatch-based all-in, as his lair is quite delayed. Roaches are banking. We have more roaches on the way. Roaches that get scattered, and Rogue, he's not droning. Rogue, he's not droning up his third base, he's going for the all-in. So this is a 2-base Roach Ling all-in. I say 2-base because his natural base is undersaturated. 39 drones, 39 workers in total. No saturation at the third. Let's go. So it's all or nothing for Rogue. Solar, he's aware. Back at home, we have spine coolers on the way. We have roaches on the way. It's going to be 2 spine coolers here at the third. Banelings, they cannot be wasted. It goes both ways. Checking the army supply here, we have an equivalent roach count, and we have queens to transfuse. So far, nice connection. Yeah, Solar, he connects, he shuts down the Lings. Roaches, they pull away. We have rough position here for Solar. Spine coolers repositioning. Banelings waddling in. That's going to be a lot of roaches going down. Does land 1 transfuse. And with the help of the spine coolers, Solar, he holds. Solar, he should be able to hold on here. He pulls back to another spine cooler. Again, transfused once again on another roach. And Rogue, he's running out of steam. Rogue, he's running out of steam here. Again, so crucial that Solar, he saw this ahead of time. Remember, he scattered the roaches here with his Ling as the army was moving out. It allowed Solar to finish up his spine crawlers, and with that, Solar, he does defend. And Rogue is falling behind. Rogue is falling behind. Remember, what did he skip? Lair. No lair whatsoever, so roach speed it can begin here for, oh, actually, never mind. Solar, he cancelled the lair to defend, so it doesn't have the lead that I thought he would have, but despite that, still lair is in production. Rogue going for the second wave. You can see here that Rogue has drones, but he's been transferring. He's been transferring workers over. You can see here he still has 10 out of 16, so he transfers to make it look like he's droning. He's not. He's not droning up. He's going for a second wave, a secondary all-in. And he's hoping that Solar sees this and Solar drones. I mean, Solar, he already droned up, Jesus. Like, he already has a half-saturated third base. So Rogue, he's hoping that Solar's too greedy, and that he gets caught with his pants down. That's the hope, at least. As here comes that second wave. Looking at this here, I mean, Solar, he has 20 roaches. I mean, that's a lot of Zerglings. True, that's going to be a lot of Zerglings, and I don't see any defensive Banelings, not yet. 2 Banelings are on the way. The Banelings are going to be crucial. Lings move in, going for the piles, and piles, they don't connect. Banelings, they just not finish. Massive connection. Lings are going down, and without Zerglings, they're not going to look down the army. With that Solar, he's holding. Solar, he should be able to hold on. He avoids most of the piles. Catching out the Ravagers. I say that, Rogue, can he get on top of the Queens? Trying to get on top of the production. The boys are being pulled. And Solar, he should hold here. Yeah, takes out the final roaches. Oh. 7 drones go down, but Solar, he can afford to lose them. And he shuts down the army for the second time. Get an intense hold. Very intense. With this, +1 is finishing up in 10 seconds, and Solar, he can start roach speed. He can start roach speed. He still has a higher drone count, still has more saturation. Still has a better setup. Oh. Meanwhile, Rogue, he's getting ready for wave 3. He's now Solar shouldn't push. He should not move out. Solar, he's very vulnerable to a Lynx round because he has no defensive Banelings, right? He has no Banelings. Banelings are actually ideal here to protect Solar against this, against just a mass Lynx around. So Rogue, ideally, he wants Solar to push out into the open. Defensively, even without Banelings, Solar, he should be okay if he can kite back. As Rogue's goal is to surround the army, then Bile. Speaking of, does come in for the surround. Biles, they do somewhat connect. A bit of friendly fire. Yeah, mainly friendly fire. Roaches, they kite back. They don't get surrounded. GG gets called, and Solar, he shuts down the all-in, and Solar takes a 2-0 lead. Whew, GG. Solar, he does take a 2-0 lead here again. An interesting build out of Rogue. Rogue, remember, he cut workers at 39. He cut workers at 39. He didn't drone up his third base. He went for a Ling Roach all-in, or a Ling Roach... Sorry, Ling Bane Roach Ravager all-in. But Solar, he was barely able to scout in time. If you remember, he did with his Zerglings scout the Roaches as he moved out from the natural. Instantly, he threw down the Spine Crawlers, and he was able to pull off that defense. Did have to cancel the lair to pull off the defense, but despite that, like, he had an economic lead. Despite that, was still far ahead. GG. GG. With that, we are now up at 2-0. I'll fix up the out-of-game score. There we go. We're up 2-0, and the pressure's on Rogue. The pressure is on one more loss, and he is out of the tournament. Up next, we're loading into Sandworm. Sandworm will have a shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression can be more favored here, but this goes both ways. We've seen, for the most part, Solar has had to be the defender, has had to respond and react to Rogue. At the same time, Solar, he can also be aggressive if he wants to be as well. If he wants to be, he can be the aggressor. Let's go. Este Rogue. Third wave, too much, right? I mean, you can't macro out of that, is the problem. Like, Rogue, he was on 40 drones, he had no lair, he had no Evo chamber, he had no tech. Like, it's either he goes for the third wave or he just taps out at that point. Again, there's a reason why it's called an all-in, right? Once it fails, like, you can't really macro out of it, unless you deal critical damage. If you don't kill your opponent, but if you cripple them, then sure, you can start to drone. But if you fail to do any economic damage, then what can you do? What can you do? Basically, the hope there for Rogue was that Solar overextends or is maybe overly greedy. Like, you're hoping that the opponent makes a mistake at that point, right? You're hoping that your opponent is too greedy, techs up, drones up, takes a base, and gets caught out. It happens. It does happen from time to time, where a player is overconfident. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sandworm. We have the red Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg. For Team Falcons, heavily behind in this series. We have to fight back here and now to have a chance, an ace match to make it through into the next round. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top side of Sandworm, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg. Representing Team Falcons, it is Solar. One game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we do have an earlier gas here from Rogue. Interesting. Only slightly, maybe not the biggest of deals, but the gas geyser is going to be a little bit earlier here. We can see Rogue, he pulls out, he pulls in, he prioritizes gas mining. Okay, this feels very intentional. Very intentional here as he does prioritize that gas, so he will have earlier link speed. So there's going to be a slightly earlier link speed timing here for Rogue. You have my attention. I'm most curious to see if he pulls out of gas or if he stays in. If he stays in, he could go for a Link Bane all-in. So we'll see if he does mine more than 100. He pulls out. Okay, so link speed is on the way. He does pull out. But there is a small window in time where he will have link speed over his opponents. We'll see if it matters. Otherwise, we're just droning, we're just saturating. Also, welcome to Sandworm. Sandworm is a map that was in TLMC 20, the most recent Team Liquid map contest, and it did make it to the finals. I actually remember voting for it. I did vote for Sandworm, but in the end, it did not make it into the ladder map pool. Didn't make it in, but was a really popular map at the time, as all the online tournaments were featuring, you know, Sandworm, Ultralove, sorry, not Ultralove, Sandworm, Persephone, or the other maps, of course. Killer Smile. Killer Smile? Yeah, that one. As we are going for the link flood. So here we go. We have 16 links on the way. So now we see that there was purpose here for link speed. We're flooding across the map as we speak. We do see link speed finishing up a little bit later here for Solar. Banelings are on the way. And will they be done in time? As Rogue is committing. He is committing into this. Queens, they move out. This comes down to the Banelings. Oh! As Banelings do pop out just in time. So far going to be zoning Rogue away. Rogue's own Banelings almost done. Almost finished. Yeah, just now finishing up. Rogue raised it. Oh, no! Oh, massive connection. Yeah, massive connections here. Solar runs into the Banelings. And now we can go. Send it, Pappy. Send it. Up. It still comes down to the Baneling control. Nice target firing. Ooh. Yeah, Solar, he bleeds out too much. 0 Banelings left. Rogue, he can go for it. Dives on the Banelings. Gets 1. Gets almost 2. And with that 0 Banelings left, yeah, Rogue, he will overwhelm. He shuts down the Lings, the Banelings, the Queens, the everything. And it looks like we will make a series out of this. It's not going to be one-sided. It's not going to be a 3-0. Oh, the hatchery is so low. Get the hatchery. There we go. Oh, no. No shot. No shot. There we go. Does get it towards the end. Hatchery goes down. And behind this, Rogue has his own. He has his own base, of course. Rogue has his own third. Still flooding across the map. Rogue is not droning, by the way. He's still not droning, still just making nothing but Zerglings. And it looks like he may still be able to overwhelm. It is risky. Surrounds a queen. And it gets one of the queens. The Lings get turned away. Oh, another disconnections. Yeah, likewise, I can say the same for Solar. As Banes, they make their way into the middle line. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will overwhelm. He will take game number 3. We have a series. GG. Whew, we do have a series here. Rogue, he does fight back. Again, Sandworm, I would say, is the smallest map out of the current maps listed here for this series, so this is where you can be more aggressive. On top of that, we saw that Rogue, he did have the slightly earlier link speed timing. He just flooded across the map, and it all came down to the unit control between our two players. Solo took a massive bailing to the face. With that, he bled out all his lings, which means he couldn't defend his queens, couldn't protect his base. Everything just very quickly snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. The comeback has begun. The comeback has begun. As up next, we're going to be loading into Maganatha, the largest map in the map pool. It's a very large map. It's on maps like this where I do lean a little bit more towards more defensive play, but what I will say as well is that every game so far, Rogue has done something different. He's gone for different forms of aggression, different forms of all-in. Hasn't been the same. Coming into Maganatha, do we see 2-base play? True. We haven't seen any of that yet. But 2-base play into 2-base lair, into 2-base muta, things of that nature can be effective on some of these larger maps. We'll see. We shall see. Reverse sweep? Oh, calm down. We're on the way, Pappy. We're on the way. What happens if you neural a drone? You neural a drone. You just get a drone. What do you mean? I see something. Rogue has an LG Puricare 360. There you go. That's amazing. Hold on. No, yeah, you're not wrong. That's what. Anyway, let's get into this. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the. I love the detail of finding that out. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg leading the series 2-1, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player. Oh my god, going for a pool first opener, rocking that LG Puricare 360. It is Rogue. Purify that air. That honestly, wait, is that 2 360s on top of each other? Because I just googled it. No, okay. Yo, we're stacking purifiers, mate. Great, let's go. Purify the purified air. Let's go. As from here, again, we have the early pool timing from Rogue, so early aggression is going to be available here. Bearing in mind, we are opening up gasless. True. No gases, so no link speed, no banelings, early links, that is true, but we are foregoing gas as a result, and we'll see how Rogue does piece all this together here. Back at home, standard opener out of Solar. Hatch gas pool. Hatch gas pool. You have 6 lings on the way. Rogue is moving out. Just catching up. And also, thank you so much to I stand in the chat. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Gifted sub to Niven. Thank you. Gracias, papi, gracias. Ahí está. Ga, papi, ga. As Rogue is moving out. He does move out with his early lings. Here he's looking for any economic damage. No drones to the natural. With good enough unit control, Solar, he should not lose any drones. Oh, one of them gets low. One does get low, denies some mining. One drone does not yet to go down. Nice defense and Solar defense. Yeah, Solar he defends. The queens are out, and Solar he does hold on. Doesn't lose a single drone. A very nice defense. With that, Solar he will take an economic lead. Behind this, we have Link Speed on the way, of course, with the gas. And Rogue just now mining his own gas is going to be a little bit further behind when it comes to Link Speed and when it comes to Banelings, which means Rogue should be stuck on 2 bases. We spoke earlier about 2-base play. Rogue, he should be stuck on 2 bases. Basically, if Rogue tries to expand, he should lose it. He should not be able to save a 3rd base, not without Link Speed, not without that gas income. Not without that setup. Banelings S on the way for Solar. And Solar can freely expand. And as we mentioned, yeah, Rogue, he has to wall up. He has to wall up on 2 bases. From here, if he canceled Link Speed, we could go into a faster lair and go into 2-base Muta. Otherwise, it looks like 2-base Roach. 2-base Roach out of Rogue. As he's fully walling up, and Solar takes a 3rd. Again, as we mentioned, without Link Speed, without Banelings, there's no way for Rogue to expand. So he cannot take a 3rd base. So from here, he is trapped. We are going for a Link Flood. Okay, this can work. So basically, winding it back a little bit here. In this situation, Solar, he knows that Rogue opened up gasless. He knows that Rogue is on 2 bases. And typically in this situation, Rogue wouldn't finish Link Speed. There's no reason to, right? Because you want to go into Roaches. Link Speed finishing here is a surprise, which means Solar, he has no Banelings ready. This Link Flood could actually work, as Solar's not quite prepared for this sort of thing. And here we go. Link Flood is moving out. So he spots it. He needs Banelings. He needs Banelings as quickly as possible. He's racing my cone Banelings. They are morphing in. Can they morph in time? As Rogue, he's all in. He's all in, flooding across the map. We have +1 carapace on the way. 16 more Zerglings as well. Again, he was faking Roaches. He was faking. Banelings are done. Ooh, 1 connects. Yeah, 1 does connect so far. Solid connection. And as you can see, morphing in Banelings, all you need, these Lings are running out of steam. They're running out of steam, running out of momentum. 1 queen gets surrounded. The queen survives? Okay. The queen does survive. And Rogue, the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Rogue. Roach production has begun. Taking more gases. Rogue, remember, he's stuck on 2 bases. Rogue, he attempts to expand, but as we mentioned before, without Link Bane, he shouldn't be able to hold on to this. Soul's backing up. So he does back off, does pull away. And Soul, he already has an economic lead anyway. He's on 44 workers. Over time, he will just outscale Rogue. He will outscale. Behind this, thankfully, Solar, he was making Roaches, and he surrounds. He can just chase us down. He surrounds the Roaches. Banelings, they zone away the Zerglings, and brutal losses here for Rogue. Losses he can't quite afford. He's trying to drone up, trying to saturate. So is Solar. Purification commencing. I love it. I love it. Let's go. Now, from here, the game is slowing down. We're slowing things down. Solar does maintain a lead moving forward here, as he has been up in workers this entire time. Likewise, up in upgrades. We have +2 on the way for Solar. Meanwhile, Rogue is working on +1. So Solar has a comfortable lead. Now, there are ways to recover in this kind of scenario here if Rogue can pull his opponent apart, pull apart his attention, I should say, go for run-bys, go for counterattacks, slip into bases, go for drop lord play, going for a Tunneling Claw roach timing, for example, going into mutas. Like, there are some ways to try to be cheeky, but the pressure's on Rogue to do something out of the norm. Ooh. As he's going to be bleeding out a lot of lings here. A lot of Zerglings do go down. Not the best trades from Rogue. Plus one Carapace does help as he can tank a Baneling shot. And he's pushing. Yeah, Rogue, he's cutting workers. He's not joining up his third base. He's going to be cutting at 55. That is under 3 base saturation. And he's committing. He's just purely committing here. It's all or nothing. Solar, he's supply blocked. Uh-oh. Brutal supply block. We have 6 overlords on the way. Now is not the time. And Solar trying to keep up. Has still plenty of roaches. And Rogue, he is running out of steam here. He is running out of roaches. Solar has plenty. Queens, they come in to defend. GG gets called. Solar shuts down the aggression, and Solar will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the decider match. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Solar. He will claim the series. Hyper aggression out of Rogue. Rogue, he went for a different all-in every single game. And hey, at times it worked. At times did end up working. Other times not so much. And in the end, Solar, he survived the aggression that is Rogue. GG. GG, well played. Solar will claim it. My condolences to Rogue, as Rogue, he's the first player out, eliminated from the group, I should emphasize. Of course, Clem, he's already made it through into the playoffs. Rogue, he has been eliminated from Maestros of the game. My condolences to Rogue, he's an amazing player, but his reward is he gets to go to sleep. gets to go to sleep. Now it can be purified. Let's go. Let's go. And congratulations to Solar as we're getting ready for our next series here. Remember, Bunny has been patiently waiting this entire time, maybe even had a nap. Hopefully not, because that was a short series. So hopefully he's ready, as up next is going to be Solar versus Bunny. There we go. Just catching up in the chat. Do you think Rogue has truly lost his mid and late game expertise that we knew him to have? Not at all. I would say that Rogue is still known for that in the other matchups. If you watch Rogue in Zerg versus Terran and in Zerg versus Protoss, I would say that that is still where he thrives in the late game, more so than the mid game, to be honest. But like in the late game, or yeah, like mid game, mid to late game is kind of where he thrives in the most, especially with Mass Lurker Nidus play in both versus Protoss and versus Terran. But ZvZ is very different. It's a very different, much more chaotic matchup here. And Rogue is, I would say, more known for being hyper aggressive and hyper cheeky in the ZvZ matchup instead. Just different styles, different matchups. Just catching up. I have 2 from Levoit. They're great and cheap, but let's go. I just got a Phillips. Purify is a sign that Rogue will switch to Protoss. True. I think Solar knows what kind of player Rogue is. I think everyone does. Like, especially all the Koreans, like Solar, Shin, all the other Koreans out there. They're familiar. They play quite a lot. But with that, we are going to be going on a short break. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, when we return, we will be returning with that decider match, a rematch between Bunny and Solar. As you can see, they already played off at the beginning of the broadcast. Now it's time for Solar to have a chance to get his revenge, to redeem himself here in this ZvT matchup, because that was a fast best of 3 earlier. Like, Bunny had a quick 2-0 over Solar. Can Solar fight back? We'll find out after the break. See you soon.